Welcome to The Explainer. Look, if you're building a business on YouTube, knowing the platform's boundaries isn't just a good idea. It's literally the foundation of your channel's survival. Today, we're taking YouTube's harmful and dangerous content policy and translating it into a really clear, easy-to-follow boundary framework. By the time we wrap up, you're going to have the exact tools you need to navigate these rules like a pro, keeping your channel totally safe and, most importantly, fully monetized. Let's get right into it.
Here's our roadmap for this explainer. We're going to hit 5 key areas: the core principle, ban challenges and pranks, real-world harm and crime, the nuance of context, and finally, the strike system stakes.
Starting off with Section 1, the core principle, or what I like to call the anchor rule.
Before we even look at specific examples, you've got to understand the lens YouTube uses for every single thing you upload, and it boils down to this one golden rule. Could this content realistically encourage viewers to seriously hurt themselves or others? If the answer is yes, you are immediately in the danger zone. And listen, this applies to the whole shebang. We're talking long-form uploads, shorts, live streams, your comment section, the description, external links, even just the words you say out loud in your audio. YouTube's #1 goal is preventing real-world tragedy. So this question right here, it's their ultimate filter.
All right, moving into Section 2, banned challenges and pranks. Let's talk about the extremes.
We've all seen internet trends spread like wildfire, right? But YouTube draws a hard, non-negotiable line at trends with a high risk of fatal injury or poisoning. So what exactly does that mean? Well, first, we're talking about choking or suffocation trends, things like pass out or hanging games that can literally cause brain damage. Then there's the ingestion of dangerous substances. Think back to the infamous detergent pod challenge, drinking bleach or swallowing metal objects. Absolutely banned. And finally, anything involving severe physical harm, setting body parts on fire, ice and salt burns, or, jumping between rooftops without a safety net. There is zero tolerance here, because the risk of someone imitating it and dying is just way too high.
And those exact same strict boundaries, they totally apply to dangerous pranks too. A prank stops being funny and crosses into banned territory the second it makes someone genuinely fear for their life or causes actual trauma. You absolutely cannot stage fake crimes. No fake kidnappings, robberies, or pretending to shoot someone in public. That just creates real-world mass panic. Weapon threats, like bomb scares or pointing fake guns at strangers, completely off the table. Physical injury pranks, like sneaking laxatives into someone's food or electric shock gags, are a hard no. And this is absolutely crucial. YouTube explicitly bans pranks that cause emotional harm to kids. Pretending parents have abandoned them or faking a death in front of a child, it's just not entertainment when the trauma is real.
Which brings us to Section 3, real-world harm and crime. This is where things go way beyond a bad joke.
We are now talking about content that acts as a direct threat to public safety. You simply cannot show or encourage acts that put your life or the lives of bystanders at risk. That means no dangerous driving, no street racing through busy intersections, or driving into oncoming traffic just for views. It includes the reckless misuse of fireworks, like blowing them up indoors or tossing them at people. But here's the really big one. YouTube entirely bans instructions on how to inflict harm. You cannot host a tutorial on how to build a pipe bomb, a Molotov cocktail, or a homemade explosive vest. You definitely can't upload a step-by-step guide on the best way to poison someone. Anything that instructs a viewer on how to promote violence or self-harm is going to get pulled immediately. And this strict boundary doesn't just apply to physical harm. It extends right into the digital world, and it heavily, heavily guards the safety of minors. You cannot upload hacking tutorials. No showing people how to steal passwords, break into accounts, or hack credit cards. You also can't show folks how to bypass subscriptions using cracked software or how to set up phishing scams, like fake bank logins. That's just straight up illegal cybercrime. Furthermore, YouTube takes child safety incredibly seriously. Any video showing minors smoking, vaping, or handling firearms unsupervised is strictly banned, no questions asked.
Okay, ready for a plot twist? Let's dive into Section 4, the nuance of context.
Just when you think you've got these exact black and white rules figured out, we hit this massive gray area. And it starts with a huge myth. How many times have you watched a creator do something incredibly reckless, and then they just slap "don't try this at home" on the screen, acting like it's some sort of magical legal shield? Well, spoiler alert, it is not enough. Simply saying that phrase does absolutely nothing to make dangerous content acceptable to YouTube's reviewers. If you're going to show something highly dangerous, YouTube demands real educational value. They want deep context, clear safety explanations, and absolutely zero glorification of the danger itself. A flimsy little text disclaimer isn't going to save your channel.
So what actually saves your channel? It's an acronym called EDSA. Under EDSA exceptions, dangerous material might actually be allowed if its primary purpose falls into one of 4 buckets: educational, documentary, scientific, or artistic. Think about a news report covering a really dangerous new TikTok trend, or a gritty documentary showing the horrific reality of addiction to discourage drug use, or maybe a highly scientific crash test video teaching us about vehicle safety. These are permitted. Why? Because they're serving the public interest rather than just cheap shot chasing for shocking views.
Let's look at how EDSA works in action. Take side A, just uploading raw footage of reckless street racing to look cool or go viral. That's an immediate violation and will be banned. But look at side B, taking that exact same street racing footage, pausing the video, actively criticizing the driving, and educating your audience on the profound real-world risks involved. That changes the entire game. By adding that crucial context, the content shifts from a strikeable policy violation to an allowed exception. Now, it'll probably still get age-restricted, but it stays up.
Here's another perfect comparison. A teenager actually doing a dangerous fire challenge for clout? Banned. Gone. But a professional firefighter taking clips of that exact same challenge, breaking it down, giving expert safety warnings, and explaining the devastating ways the human body reacts to fire, that completely shifts the framework. Again, YouTube might throw an age restriction on it because the imagery is intense, but that educational context is what keeps the video alive on the platform.
All right, moving into our final stretch, Section 5, the strike system stakes. Let's talk consequences. We've covered the rules and the exceptions, but what actually happens to your hard work and your income if you ignore these boundaries? Well, it escalates quickly. For first violation, you'll usually just get a warning. The specific piece of content is removed, and you might have to sit through some policy training. Not the end of the world. But if you do it again, you hit step 2, actual community guideline strikes. This is where it hurts. You'll face upload restrictions, meaning you literally cannot publish anything for a set amount of time, and you face severe monetization loss. And finally, step 3. If you rack up 3 strikes within a 90-day window, that's total channel termination. Your channel, your community, your entire library of content, poof, gone forever. Let's pull it all together. This summary table neatly categorizes the boundaries we've explored today. Fake kidnapping pranks? No way. Bomb-making tutorials? Absolutely not. But a professional stunt that's analyzed with deep safety education? That is allowed, though it'll get an age restriction. And a well-researched documentary shedding light on harmful trends? Almost always completely allowed. It just proves that while extreme harm and criminal instructions are strictly banned, true, genuine educational context can save a video. So I'm going to leave you with this final thought to ask yourself before hitting publish on your next upload. Are you merely showing danger for clicks, or are you adding enough context to genuinely educate and protect your audience? The platform absolutely demands the latter. Understanding that subtle but massive difference is the key to surviving, thriving, and building a lasting legacy on YouTube. Thanks for joining me for this explainer. Stay safe out there and keep creating smart, context-rich content.